So I've done it. Not getting any younger, had a midlife crisis. Spent a bunch of money on something I probably shouldn't have. Can you see it there? Yeah, I'm going to be paying that back for a while. Let me take you a little closer to show you. There you go. There's my midlife crisis. That is a Grizzly mill drill, and that is a Grizzly lathe. Oh, this is my aunt's car. Who cares about cars? So let's take a look at the mill first. So, the reason I got a mill drill, this isn't a knee mill. It's not as stiff and it's not as accurate as that type of a mill. But for the money and the capacity that this thing can handle, you just can't beat it for the price. So this was just over $2,500. I couldn't even find a used Bridgeport for that. And Bridgeports don't have nearly the capacity. What I mean by that is the swing on this machine is 20 inches, meaning I've got 10 inches between the column and the center of the cutter head. So I can potentially machine something that's 20 inches round all the way on this. And then my vertical capacity is also huge on this machine compared to a Bridgeport. So the head moves up, and I forget what the maximum distance here is, but it's like 20 inches, I think. It's a lot. And then I've got 17 inches of table travel with power feed. And then there's about 8 inches of cross slide travel. Comes with a chuck. It's all R8 tooling. That is a beefy quill right there. The other nice thing is speed control. I hate changing belts. All the drill presses have the step pulleys. It's not that hard to change it, but I end up just not doing it. I drill at the wrong speed. This just has quick change gearbox, so if I want 90 RPM, I go to low 1. There's 90. If I want 1,970 RPM, I go to high 3. There you go. And it's that easy. It runs nice. You can run it in forward and reverse. One of the very cool features about this mill is you can actually pivot the head to whatever degree you want. So there's 3 bolts. There's one here, one there, and one on the other side. I'm not going to do it right now because I've got this thing trammed so it's level with the table, but if you loosen those bolts, you can see here I'm at 0 degrees. I can put this at whatever angle I want, including 90 degrees, which would make my cutter head horizontal, and make this into a horizontal mill. At that point, your capacity is unlimited because I don't have to worry about spindle to table because I've got spindle to wall. I can mill almost anything I want. This mill did not come with a DRO, but I plan to put one on. Digital readout really adds a lot to the productivity of the machine and what you can do with it and how accurately. So I'm going to be adding one of those. I may make a video of that. So expect, as I get familiar with the machine and do some more work on it, I'll do an in-depth review later, but I haven't used it enough to be able to give real good information on it and critiques. So for the lathe, which I'm still in the process of setting up, I got a 12 by 36 gunsmithing lathe, they call it. The gunsmithing it's no different than any other lathe. It's just a lathe. For me, it's a pretty big lathe, 12 by 36. This lathe also has what they call a gap bed. You can take out this section right here, and that gives you a 17-inch swing instead of just 12. So you could put something on a faceplate that's even bigger. If you want to change your RPMs, they're right here. So if I want 70 RPM, I go to B1. There's 70. And it goes up to 200, 360, 600, 800, 1400 is the top speed, which would be A2. Right there. So, it's that easy to change from one to the other. And runs nice and smooth. Here's the top speed. Once I get familiar with this, I'll do some reviews be able to do some real critiques on what I like and don't like about it. But I'm excited. This is really going to allow me to fix things I couldn't fix before around here, and make stuff. This really kind of opens up a lot of doors, having a mill and a lathe in the shop. So why did I go with Grizzly? You know, there's a number of reasons. I looked for a long time for older and not old, but just used equipment that was higher quality. You know, a Bridgeport mill is undoubtedly better quality than that mill. But I live out in the country. Just to go look at a mill, it was going to be more than an hour drive, oftentimes a couple hours. And I don't have a lot of time to go driving around, show up at a mill and find out the thing's ragged out and has a bunch of run out and the table travel. As machines get older, the tables slide back and forth, they start to get bellies in them, and then your parts come out with inaccuracies because of that. So just because it's a good quality machine, if it's old and it's heavily used, it's not going to give you a good quality final product. And this would probably, you know, even though it's not built to the same standard, is going to do just as well or better. You know, I've got a couple Grizzly tools upstairs in the wood shop, and they've done fine for me. I think Grizzly is decent quality. There's going to be problems with them, things that you're going to, you know, you just have to understand that when you buy them. You're not getting a Cadillac. I think if I lived in an area where there were a lot of tools around, used tools that I could go look at without a lot of trouble, really I would prefer to have more industrial, better built, used tools than these. For me, it just didn't make sense. I was going to spend many days going around looking at machines, and I'm sure wasting a lot of time because I'd show up and then find the thing had 10, 20 thousandths of sag in the table travel or in the lathe ways. Here I've got new machines, and I've checked them out. I'm pretty impressed with them. They're pretty accurate. And one last thing that really kind of made the deal for me, Grizzly has a discount that a lot of people don't know about. If you order 2 tools, and I think they mean floor-mounted tools, not little stuff, but they will give you a discount. You have to contact them and ask them, you know, that you want to apply for this discount, and they'll come back and let you know how much you can save. So my total cost on this whole deal with the lathe and the mill and a bunch of tooling that I bought was $7,500. A lot of money. Cost of a cheaper used car, you know, kind of keep that in perspective. Not too bad for a midlife crisis. If I paid with a credit card, it was only going to save me like 75 bucks. But if I did a direct bank transfer, they gave me $375 off. Yeah, that's a fair amount of money. When you put all that together, for what I'm getting and the cost, it really is it was an amazing deal. I went for it. So yeah, here's my midlife crisis. Who gives a damn about convertibles?